Testing.
Maneko botalela ngabana yanga molimo na miteki ikambo na salite bakopanzanga sango Kinshasa mobimba bakotongoka kombo na ngai ekomango lisolo ya bato soki bakolia po batongoko bafingaka nsima basambwisanga natula te ope nazanga te nazali na mobali oyo akokanga na makambo maso nalingaka baninga na yo bana lelo bosukisa na kombo nanga ezali mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki ekotala yo mosala na ekotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa ezali mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki ekotala yo mosala na ekotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa bandeko botalelanga bana yanga molimo na miteki likambo nasali te bakopanzanga sango Kinshasa mobimba bakotongonga kombo na ngai ekomango lisolo ya bato soki bakolia po batongoko bafingaka nsima basambwisanga nazali na mobali oyo akokanga na makambo maso nalingaka naye lelo na lopango na bino mpo nayebisa yo oyebisa baninga na yo bana lelo bosukisa na kombo nanga mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki ekotala yo mosala na ekotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa ezali mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki ekotala yo mosala na ekotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa
Nanga, Ola Magabonia, Naye, 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 Natembe, oh mama, Naye, 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 Natembe, oh. Ekwekete ya mobanyo yonga na fakufela, Naye na mona ye, Naye, Natembe, oh. Mobali ya moko wapiye na tala na miso, Naye, 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 Natembe, oh mama, Naye, 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 Natembe, oh mama, Naye, 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 Natembe, oh Naye, Natembe, Naye, Natembe, na lopango na bino, Naye bobeta ngai, Naye kosukisa yo. Ekwekese ya mobali nga na bino tokowela, sapato etengama, simise pasuka na mokongo. Naye, 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 Natembe, oh Naye, Natembe, Naye, Naye.
Good evening, folks. Samson to Labron Public Radio. I want to thank all of you again for tuning into Labron Public Radio this evening. Thank you for joining us. Thank you very much, folks. We're going to have fun here again tonight. Safety first. Lord Jesus, we want to thank you again this evening for bringing us back together here again. Well, Lord, we are all in your hands. And I know your hands is big to take care of all of us. And so for this reason, I'm not bashful. I'm not ashamed to say you are the one that I depend on. My Lord, I ask you again to continue to bless us. Give us long life as we sit here with our brothers and sisters again this evening, getting ready to have some discussion. Give us wisdom. Make sure we don't do anything or say anything that is not in the interest of the people, or that is not even of you. We must always respect each other. Give us that wisdom. Lord Jesus, you know we're in this country here. The disease is out there. Of course, the people say it's going down. They're getting ready to open school and open other places. My Lord, we ask you to continue to guide us. Only through you, your vaccine is the true vaccine, as far as I'm concerned. We will take the other vaccine because that's what the law wants us to do. We will take the other vaccine because that's what the civilized want us to do. But we, those of us that believe in you, your vaccine is the one that's keeping us alive. And I want to thank you for that. Please, my Lord, continue to provide that vaccine for all of us. My sisters, mothers, daughters, brothers that are working, my Lord. Please help us all. Lord Jesus, you know we, the diaspora from back in Africa, Liberia to be specific, we have two tables. We try to feed the family here, and we also try to feed the family back home. And because of this, many of us continue to work. Even if we're tired, we have to work because the month ends. And yesterday, my Lord, you know how many times I went to the place to send money? You know how many times, my Lord, I'm not angry. I'm happy to do so because you put us in this position to be able to help our brothers and sisters back home, to be able to help our family members back home. How many times did I ask my son to take me to Walmart like yesterday because I got paid, so I was getting ready to do whatever I have to do to help people. And I'm not alone, my Lord. You know many Liberians all over the world sending money home because of their brothers and sisters, father, mothers, just sister, auntie, just to help people. And so, Lord, we ask you to continue to protect us because you know what we're doing. We're not just working because we want to dress fine and dress out there and go out and start bluffing. No, we're working because we have two tables to feed. I ask you to bless us. I also ask you, my Lord, to bless the country, Republic of Liberia. I ask you to bless the leaders, give them wisdom to do what is good for the people. And my Lord, I ask you to bless the host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's have fun. Tonight it's not going to be easy. You will see the real Bloku here tonight. The real liberal progressive. He's on it again tonight. 1 minute, you will see me different. on a different side. He said, but who is it? That a liberal progressive tonight? What happened? Before you know, I flip. And that's what I do. I'm all over. Why is that? Because we liberal, we come to anything from a broad perspective. Why? You say, Mr. To, why do you always think that other people have the right to do whatever? Because if I shut other people's rights down, where is my rights? Who gave me the right to shut people off? Who am I to say your suggestion, your thinking is wrong? Who am I? I can disagree with you, but I'm not going to ask you to say your suggestion does not have a place. No, it is yours. You're entitled to it. People die for that freedom. People die for you to express yourself freely. Then who am I? Because I have the microphone, therefore I should shut you off? No. You say whatever you want to say. However, in order for you to have a genuine conversation with people, other people, specifically me, you have to come to this position with an understanding that I too have an opinion. And I must be allowed to express my opinion freely. Because with that, we might be able to get somewhere. Let's come to this position. Let's come to the engagement with open mind. I might say something here tonight that you're definitely not going to agree with me. So what? But that's how we talk. That's how it is. That is the liberal progressive view. Let's get it started. Thank you. All right, folks. If you were reading my stuff, I told you already. But before we do that, folks, usually, as usual, we start the show with showing the president of the Republic of Liberia, Dr. Weah, folks. He didn't come to the position from the back door. Oh, no. He knocked with the entire world were watching. It didn't happen overnight. That banana republic over there. The people have the election process, everything set up. International community were watching. He came in. He said, what? The Liberian people said, who is there? He said, this is Ambassador Weah. They said, what do you want? He said, I want to be your president. They said, can you handle it? He said, yeah, I was on the other side from this desk, this platform. Ooh, Dr. Weah and the CDC, they're not disciplined. Don't give them that position. They will ruin the country. When they take, other people say, when they take over, the war will come, there will be civil war. Don't give them position. The Liberian people said, look, Mr. Toll, thank you very much. But this is the man we want, and this is the man we're going to give you. That's it. If you want any other thing, any other argument about this position, wait after 6 years. You come back and make your case. And we will compare your case with Dr. Weah's case. And if your case is in the same line with the case of the president, we will see. Folks, give me a moment, please. How did you get it? Thank you. I'm sorry. My son, who was about to turn 18, honor roll student, got a job and started his job first job, started today. He was so excited. And then as soon as I got on air, he was calling me to pick him up. So I told him I'm on air. Somebody drove in. That's why he was ringing the doorbell But he's so excited. First day work. After my show, I'm going to ice ski. How was it? And let's see. He's going to be doing this, but he thinks this is something that is, he's anxious. He couldn't wait this afternoon to go to work. First day on the job. Folks, where do you think this young man who is about to turn 18 within the next 6 months or so, where do you think he's working? Samson too. Working at McDonald's. It's going to be flipping burger. Why? That's another subject matter, but I just want to tell you. And he's happy flipping burger. However, this flipping burger, for me, that's a process to turn my son to something else. Ethic. Remember that you flip burger and you never ate the people burger, even you were hungry. What make you think if you're in Liberia, you're working, you will take the people money? I beg you, remember your Burger King days. Folks, am I lying? My son, 18, he's going to be 18 years very shortly. Flipping burger, first day on the job. After my show, he and I are going to sit down and we'll try to compare notes, see what happened. My first day on the job, what was it? What was I doing? I can't tell you. But anyhow, let's go. So today, tonight actually, the president, as I was saying until my son started ringing the doorbell, so the president, Dr. Weah, came into this position when everyone else was listening, and the eyes of the international community was out there. So he came in. Liberian people elected him. The Liberian people told me, Mr. Toe, wait until 6 years. You can come back and make your case, and we'll listen to your case and listen to Dr. Weah's case and see who has the best. If Dr. Weah proved to be the best, we'll keep him. If not, we'll listen to you. I said, okay, thank you. And so I respect the people of you. I accept Dr. Weah as my president. I've already done that. Dr. Weah is the president of the Republic of Liberia. The president of the Republic of Liberia. Let me say that again. Maybe it didn't sink in. President of the Republic of Liberia. We must criticize, but we must do so with respect. We must criticize, but we must do so with respect and responsibilities. Because every one of you that are watching me, what make you think that you can't be president tomorrow? So you want me or you want people to disrespect the president, but then when your time comes, you want people to respect you? This is what giving Dr. Weah and his people a hard time. Because if they apply what I just talked about, when they were in opposition, if that kind of mentality was set in to respect, I believe people would say, but now people do whatever they do, and when you talk about it, they say, but what CDC used to do? The next thing you do to me, somebody else will do to you. Crown people say when you go on a farm, a big tree, hollow tree, you're looking inside that tree, see where inside. That thing that inside the tree also looking in you. What make you think respect that not two way? I give you respect, you give me respect. If I don't respect you, why would you want to respect me? Who am I? Am I God? I respect you, you respect me. What la brother say? What may man she me in there? That's what I say. But this is Dr. Weah. Fortunately for me, why I accept the position. Fortunately for me, Dr. Weah and his people, specifically the Samuel 12, continue to give me binder. I got a binder here. One day I will show you the binder. A binder full of error, unforced error. Nobody put finger in their throat for them to make the error, to make the kind of mistake. Simple mistake. And they do it every day almost. So what makes you think that the president of the Republic of Liberia, that we should sit here and disrespect him? No, I'll wait my time. I respect the rule. I will wait my time. When the president time finish, 6 years finish, I will take my binder and start reading. I will remind the Liberian people of the error. Let me give you an example. $16 billion, does it make sense? Ooh, okay. $25 billion, I'm not going to let those things go. $25 million map out. What's wrong with that? Oh, the fishery from Senegal, people are going to come and manage the fishery. Oh, okay, what's about Imbamba, Ubu, those kind of loan? What happened to them? Oh, what happened to Coastal Road? Oh, my people, by the time I finish, I'm just, those are the things that I can remember very quickly. I haven't even opened the binder yet. You see what I'm doing? So the opportunity will be there. In the meantime, he's our president. We must support anything that is in the interest of the people of the Republic of Liberia. If the president suggests something that you, as an intellectual person, smart person, you know this thing is in the interest of the Liberian people, don't hate it because it's coming from the president. Support it. It's for the people. What good will you do? You call yourself advocates for the people of Liberia. But when the president and other people suggest something that would be beneficial for the people, then you say, no, you don't like that. Because why? It's coming from the president. Then you're not serious. I say so. The liberal progressive is on here. And like I told you from the beginning, so tonight, I'm taking two lanes. First, let me go back to Toe Town. Country boys used to play drum, beat drum. The president right now, he's on his trip. I'm seeing him coming back to Montreal. Of course, the people in Montreal, the Gola people, they're begging for the crewmen to come back to Montreal. The Gola and Mene and the other people from Osura County, they're begging for the crewmen to come back to Montreal. The crew people enjoying their boy over there. The men, people enjoying themselves. The Gola people and the people in Osura County, they want the men to come back. We say no. Let it stay there some time. And so with president, truly, look, folks, let me be serious a little bit. The president, I'm going to show you only two videos here. But if you watch the video, and if you're somebody from the countryside, you will truly understand. Despite politics, whether I like the president, it has nothing to do with it. But truly, truly, this president is truly enjoying himself back home. You know why? When I was growing up in Monrovia, so to speak, and I used to go to Toe Town for vacation. So you go down there, some of us, we had that big shop because we come from Monrovia. Those days, I'm not going to tell you what those are, but those days were different. You act like you big shop. But sometimes you get along with your friends. Some friends that you left in Toe Town that refuse to come to Montreal and go through the suffering, you go there, they're still there. Some of them, by the time you get there, they got two wives already. Okay? But anyway, you guys get together and decide to do what you used to do before. You put a drum down in the evening in front of your powerhouse. You start playing like I would do. And you guys then hold a bottle. The King June barrel. What barrel you think I'm talking about? You think that song I say King June barrel. We call it snap. What wrong with you say? You know? I say snap. You put a snap bottle down. I beat in the drum. I already finished taking 1 or 2 showers. Then I put a drum. I only one can beat the drum. So I say I beat the drum. I don't say I play drum. What do you mean by play drum? I say beat. Then the other man take the snap bottle with a spoon bar and go tan, 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 and I start playing. And the two other guys start singing. In less than 5 minutes, the young girls in the town all over dancing. The party start. You forget about Montreal hard time. Montreal hard time basically with Shuka, with Farian, you do things gone out of your mind for that moment. And this is what the president was experiencing. The president got over there Just for a brief moment, he was not even thinking about being president of the Republic of Liberia. He was thinking being home with family members and friends. And that's tradition. That's tradition. Let me play this video, folks, and you will see what I'm talking about. Watch this president. This is, folks, this one part, and I'm talking politics tonight. After I finish with it, I will deal with the president later on from a political perspective. But right now, I'm going culture. Watch this president. This is the same president that played ball at the top of his career when he was playing football. White people country. Listen to this president, my people. Listen to Dr. Weah. Oh, I enjoy the part. I will deal with him later. For now, you won't watch me because I still praising the president. Go. Come back later. I will deal with some of the things that some of the ills that I said when I put him back in the presidential seat. But right now, he's with me in a village. I wish I was there. Look at this man. Listen, oh my people. You know, when he became president, there's this one video they were playing early Sunday morning. They were playing football and they were gathering around singing. You remember that video? Where Samuel Twain then was singing their CDC battle cry stuff? You remember that video? It's nothing compared to what I'm getting ready to show you. The spirit this young man put it in. Samson Soe, why you got to put yourself? You don't got no money to go to Liberia right now. You broke like church rat. How you go to Morea set to even go to Total and put your, now you making yourself feel bad all day now. And from here now I'm going to sleep. Because after watching this, I wish I was in Liberia right now. Let me play. Listen, folks. Samson Soe, Liberian Public Radio. Now you tell me that you don't feel that spirit. Look at it. Oh. Look where he is. Did you see mask on his face? Yeah, you can say, oh, social distance. How are you going to be in that kind of position? How you going right now? If the men want to, the old people among them to say, you don't go brush right now, the kind of brushing they will do, you and I, the spirit that moving you people to do that, it's unbelievable. You tell me that this man at this particular time, he was thinking I'm president of the Republic of Liberia. Let me play that again before I play the other. I want you to actually immerse yourself into this thing here I'm talking about tonight. Unless you're not from the countryside, they are sorry for you. If you're not from the countryside, I'm sorry for you. But if you're truly from the countryside, where when you were growing up, even when you were in Monroe, but you go to Total, the palm wine in the evening, you all come from the palm wine tree and you all sit down. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look at I'm torturing myself. Folks, I'm torturing myself to be honest with you. Because I really love to be there. Let's play this again. Samson Soe, Liberian Public. That this young man, first of all, do you think he called himself Dr. Weah at that moment? Do you think he's president of the Republic of Liberia at that moment? Watch this other video, folks. You know, I've been watching Dr. Weah going to places, all his trip, but this one, it's something that stood up in my as far as I'm concerned. Let's watch this other video, folks. This one, It's interesting. It's interesting. Florentine Kofa, who happened to be a friend of mine, was here in the United States, studied here, did well, went over there, passed the bar, did well. But you could tell Florentine looked at somebody who was lost. Kofa looked at, he doesn't even belong there. He didn't even know what to do until Dr. Weah started encouraging him. If you don't fit, don't be among the thing. When you see the country people start doing that thing, Kofa too, he's from the area. But Kofa then they way up there. They're queer people. They're similar people. So they don't understand the E. You don't go and dress. But when you put your dressing shoe like that on, when you dress like that, you have to perform. Watch this. It's so funny. So funny. Kofa was lucky that Dr. Weah was in a good friend of mine to tell Kofa what was happening. To say, let's go, let's go. If not Kofa, they were going to leave Kofa behind. The day I'm going to laugh around, we'll play the video, I will laugh at him like that. They were going to leave him behind. But watch this. Watch this. You see, this is what I'm talking about. Dr. Weah, even though he was in the mood already, but he recognized that Kofa is older than him, number one. He recognized that Kofa is a representative from that era, number two. Secondly, that he couldn't just jump because he's president and jump. You have to obey the rule of the culture. Hey, my people. Man, I'm telling you. If you miss this thing, you missing thing, man. These are some of the things some of us, that's why I keep telling the people back home. They don't know how much good life they have over there. Yeah, you can say they don't have money, they don't have no. But look at that kind of thing. This is a thing that make you live for a long time. This is the spirit, high spirit. So when I watch it, I've been playing the other day, I enjoy it. Let's watch it. Let's watch Kofa being egged on by Dr. Weah. So say, let's go. And then when Kofa got ahead, he didn't even know what to do. You see, when you follow too much book, then what happens? You learn little bit book, then you stay where you cautious. Then you learn little book, then you stay with. But you say, I'm going to do all book. That's why you finish doing all book, then you say you want to join them. You don't fit there again. You see that? Watch this, folks. Zean Soe. Let's watch this. So you saw that from the beginning. Kofa looked like he was lost. This is not Monrovia, Kofa. This is not Monrovia, dude. This is the countryside. These are the people you're representing. He can't put on lapa over there. He can't stand there. He even know what to do. They said, let's go. You wear the lapa? Let's show. Kofa was confused. Like, well, folks, I truly enjoy it. That's the president of the republic. But no, seriously, let's get back on that a little bit. In our own culture, folks, these are things when you leave from here, you go home, you have to be part of. Because this is you. That's who you are. I give you an example. When I left from here back during the heyday of the war, I went to Ivory Coast, where my mom and my father was. I went to get my son at the time. So when I got in town, the first thing I did, I took off my jeans pants. I asked my little brother to give me his short pants, and my late little brother also to give me his slippers. So I started wearing it. I wore them the entire time I was there. Just wash it, put it back on. People that came from Abidjan, and when they told them that, oh, they said, I'm coming from America, they said they don't believe it. But that's how it's supposed to be. Why would I leave from here when I get over there? I pretend I'm this, I'm that. I'm nothing except what God gave me. Why would I want to leave from here and go pretend? The last time when I went home, I went to Town. And when I got there, my sister then built my father's house. I wanted to stay. It wasn't finished. I wanted to stay in there. But then my sister started calling my other sister. Then they said, no, you can't stay here. My brother, they know you can't stay here because it's not finished yet. I wanted to stay in there. So I said, okay. So I went to where my stepmom lives, the house. I went in there. I put the mat on the floor, slept on the floor. The only concern that I had was, why is some kind of bug crawl into my ear? What do I do? There's no hospital there. But other than that, I enjoy myself. The next day, early in the morning, around 5 something, those of you that watched the video, I got outside and started doing live video. I was having conversation with the chicken because the chicken woke me up. So I asked the chicken, why will you wake people up every morning? We miss those things. We miss them. But anyway, folks, that's the half of it. Let me now get into the serious. But no, this also is very serious. If you are from the country, these things give you spirit. These things define you, who you are. Don't forget where you're coming from. Because if you do, you won't know where you're going. You can't pretend to be somebody you're not. If God gave you the ability to come here and learn, don't forget where you're coming from. And for Dr. Weir, and his people to do this here, I want to take my hat off to the president for reminding all of us that we come from somewhere, and this is the culture that we're all proud of. And I want to thank him for bringing that. I specifically want to say thanks to Sekou Kalasco because this was his video. Thanks, Sekou Kalasco. We appreciate it. These are things. It's not always about politics. It's not always about politics and what is happening. Liberia, every one of us will come and go. Liberia will be there. All we ask is that give everybody the opportunity. Let them move the country forward. Let's jump into that. Samson Soe. Let me take off my country hat and now put my queer hat on, if there's such thing. Welcome, Samson Soe. Yeah, folks, if you watch Kofa, when I go back home, I will laugh. In fact, after the show, I will call one of our mutual friends so we can laugh. You go over there, Kofa, I'm representing the people of Grand Cruise. Yeah? Kofa, you put a lapper on, you can't even walk? You're talking about you know who you're representing? You know the culture? I want to get back home, I say, okay. But anyway, folks, let's go ahead. That was the performance from the Southeast side. And what I also want to say, it seemed to me that many people are jealous of this president having good time. Many people, including myself, are jealous of this president going over there and having good time. Now, let me go into politics. From here, then I'll jump. That would be a very good launching point for me. Politics now, and not just politics, but leadership. Despite all of this that we saw, why the president was over there, we have some terrible, terrible situation in Liberia a few days ago. What a young lady that graduated from the college and died, including other members of her family. I've yet to hear any news from any statement from the executive mansion, and I'm sure the executive mansion have heard about it. Even you can be in the mix of enjoying yourself. But like I always say to this president, you're president of the Republic of Liberia. Despite your age, you are the father of the nation. Everyone you need to provide your shoulder for everybody to cry on, especially on the current situation. I've yet to hear anything from this president. That for me, I just don't agree with any people. Oh, they're not a man business. No, he's president. This thing happened in Monrovia. not just one person, 8 people died. When would that move your spirit? To sympathize, to go in front of the microphone and express your sympathy. Go in front of the microphone. Yeah, we're here trying to acquaint ourselves with our people, but with this thing that happened in Monterey today, this is just not the way things are supposed to go. We take the family, we have the family I had, and we pray for everybody. But this is bad. When we get back to Monterey, we'll try to find out. I know my people are on it. They're trying to find out what's happening, but this is not good news. I just want my people to know that I'm with them. You do that. That's the way you go. It didn't happen. I have not seen it. Maybe it did, but I have not seen it. Okay? Okay. Whatever. But anyway, let's go ahead. Oh, man, you people, you know what? That one thing about it, you know, you're coming start with me. The tiny sedition. When you're giving me did I say minister of state? I said the president. He can be in Grand Cour and still, if the president were to call press conference, you don't think by this time you're here? What minister of state got to do with it? I'm not talking about that. The minister of state, he's not president. The president's supposed to provide shoulder for every one of us. He's our president. He's our father. What's wrong with you? You come here with your tiny sedition brain. You come in, can't tell me, say State Department. I beg you, man. I'm going to waste my time. You want to watch me go. You want to watch me go. Bye-bye. Anyway, let's go on. So that's the little politics that I have. Here's the big politics that I have. Here it comes. Okay? Here's the big politics that I have. Okay. The question now is, Samuka, Lofa County Representative, Senator-elect, supposed to be certificated tomorrow. I'm not too sure if that's still going to happen. We have a letter here on Facebook that's been going around. I'm not too sure if that letter is authentic or not, but I will still speak to that anyway. What is happening in Liberia right now? It's not, the Justice Minister and the Solicitor General, they need to take it easy. Take it easy. Even if the Justice Minister want to get in the good grace of the sedition that always causing him, this is not the time. So the Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia found this man guilty because of the ruling from the lower court. I think I spent a whole day on this here the last time. Samuka, I show you the video. Samuka did not take people money and use it for himself. Misapply, yes, because the money was intended for something else, and his boss, ICE, came to use it for something else. And he was on here. You can go and look for the video. I'm not going to play the video here tonight. He was on here telling you what was happening. And Dr. Weir was fully informed of the situation. In fact, Dr. Weir have already paid some money of whatever that situation is. But my thing with Samuka was for his lawyer to allow him to take out of the whole process, to say they don't want jury trial. You want the bench trial. What a bench trial, there's only one person. If he doesn't have, if he can't understand or don't agree with your logic, you're done. Whereas if you have jury trial, you have other people that will sympathize, that will be sympathetic to your position. Okay? But that wasn't happening. So I'm not a lawyer, but I don't see the logic behind the way they approach this thing from the beginning. So the lower court ruled. The question, the thing, my whole concern in this whole process, why would the lawyers allow Samuka to contest the senatorial election position in Lofa County? The lawyer should have looked at past cases. How many times since 2005 or whatever that the Supreme Court have come out and said lower court decision is not right. I'm going to overrule and say something. You take those decisions and try to see the probability or the percentage and see how that square with your case. Supreme Court most of the time, and I'm not a lawyer, just common logic. When a case comes from a lower court and go to Supreme Court, the Supreme Court, the only thing they're looking for, they're not going to do retrial. The only thing they're looking for in this case, as to whether the lower court judge made a mistake in applying the constitutional law specifically for that case. Whether the case was adjudicated wrongly by this judge. So that's all they look for. And if they find that the law was applied wrongly, then they can come in with another position. They have a choice. They can either tell you, say, go back to the court and write the court to say you made a mistake. These are the mistakes you made according to X, Y, Z of the law. And you can go back to the lower court and start over if that's the case. And these lawyers, they should have been able to understand this is what was going to happen. But they didn't do that. They allowed Samuka to run. And Samuka being popular in the Lofa area, he won. The Supreme Court is not there to say, oh, the man in court, and maybe he will be they find him guilty, so therefore he can't run. That's not their job. That's not their job. And there's nothing in the Constitution that bar anybody unless you're being found guilty or impeached or something like that. I'm not a lawyer, so please forgive me. But my main issue on this whole thing here, George Weah led government, specifically this Justice Ministry, going after Samuka folks. Give me a minute. Samson told LeBron Public Radio. And the Hicks keep coming. I'm not alone. There are many of us, many Liberian diaspora. That's why God gave you the opportunity to come over here. Whoever need help, they call you, you try your best. And that's what we do every day. Liberian people, those of you that are watching me right now, as soon as you get paid, the first thing you look for, in fact, if you move into a new city, the very first thing you look for, before you even look for a nightclub, if you're young now, before you look for a nightclub, the very first thing you look for, where's the Western Union and where's the Money Grant area? That's the first thing you look for in that area. Because that's what we do as Liberians. None of you, because if you were me, you would be rich by now. But you're not me. You're not me. Don't fool yourself. Oh, you get that. I don't get time for the people. The Liberian people, they vote that we are in, they will suffer. You lie. You care for them. You can't stay here and get money in your pocket and somebody call you and you say, I don't get it. You able. Babu a diva cola. You able. You get money as soon as somebody call you. My man, I don't get nothing right now. As soon as you put the phone down, the next thing, Because why? You at one time of your life used to be in that same position, similar position, most likely. And so when somebody call you to say, I don't have it, you know. And our brothers and sisters, sometimes they take advantage of it. That's okay. But main thing here, and that's why you will always be blessed, because you're always helping people back home. I'm on a show. Somebody calling me. Something happened. Well, I just whole yesterday, the entire day, up and down, because I got a Walmart where they got money grant, up and down. I'm gonna do it again. No big deal. None of us gonna get rich in this country, because you can't have an extended family and expect to be rich. That's just not possible. That's not us as Liberian. You're not me. So I just thought I'd throw in there. But anyway, let's get back to the story. So my main thing with the Lofa issue is this. The Supreme Court, they challenged the opposition to this man, challenged, and he won. And the Supreme Court said he must be certificated. It's a letter that's going around, and we heard Costa this afternoon. If that is true, you're looking for flour on Lofa people, you're stop it. You're stop it. You're stop it. The man won. The Supreme Court said he must pay. He said, okay, he's going to pay the people money. He's making payment arrangement. He will pay. Why now you don't want him to go into the Senate? Look at why you're doing this thing here. Then on the same Senate, you wanted to send what's his name, Alex Tyler. Then on the same House of Representatives, where you got Abu Kamara. Why you doing this kind of thing? You want us to forget one thing, but the other one you don't want to forget it. Why you doing this thing here? You stop that kind of thing. If you want to apply law, do it across the board. You can't be selective. People see through it. People see through it. And all the democracy stuff that Liberian called democracy bluff before, they will do it again. That's what you want? Liberian. They call the democracy process, they call it, because democracy is a bluff. They called it bluff. And we went to war. You're thing. You're not build the institution. What the Justice Department is doing right now, it's so wrong. The Supreme Court ruled that you think the Supreme Court, okay, if you guys have the case, why can't you go to the Supreme Court? Because that's why the man went. So if the Supreme Court is their ruling is wrong, go back with your documentation and evidence to say that you're wrong. But you're sending letter to the neck, independent. But they think you're doing the wrong thing, and that the wrong. Dr. Weah, please step in. Dr. Weah, step in. And tell the men then to stop. Let the man go and represent his people. First thing, you're looking for power on local county people. You're looking for power. And you can't have confusion in local county and be happy in CDC. Most of the people that have Rocky CDC, they're from local county. You don't expect people to be crying and yelling and screaming in local county, and you think you'll be happy in CDC. You're stop it. Dr. Weah, step in. The Supreme Court said that the independent, the people you consider independent, your Supreme Court said they should certify them, giving certificate. Then letter coming in, the letter are going around. The tiny sedition around here sharing the letter. I think that letter, that's something you have to be proud of. What the letter is doing is that to tell the people of Liberia that the Supreme Court has no power. You don't understand it? So if the neck, if they don't certify giving certificate tomorrow, that will be so wrong. And you will put yourself at peril. Because when time comes that you want to run to the Supreme Court, then that they see Supreme Court, you want them to help you. It just doesn't make no sense. You can't do this. People are trying to build institutions in Liberia. Then you're there tearing it down. The Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia, the rule that they must certify him. So if the man is certified, he sits in the Senate, there are other means you can go after him. You can try to impeach him if you think that he doesn't belong there. Let the Senate rule take care of it. But by you circumventing the Supreme Court ruling, you're cutting the legs of an institution. Executive, you're cutting the leg of another institution. There are three branches of government. The one branch said the man won, let him go to the other branch. Then the other branch, the executive, fighting that. What is your ground? You want to tell me the Supreme Court justice, then they don't know the law? That you guys are the best in the law? This is just completely wrong. Let's forget about politics. Let's just talk human decency. This is wrong. But here's what's going to happen. What you have done, if this guy is not said, if they don't give him certificate tomorrow, if he's not certificated tomorrow, 2023, you think people will allow you to do this thing? You already have bad record. They flock you in Moserado County. They flock you in Moserado County and other county because of bad policy. And then here you are, the institution that the people look up to, that they can run to say, okay, I got a case. I'm anxious. I want to hurt somebody. But the law, let me go to the Supreme Court. People run there to have their issue resolved. And you're cutting the legs of the same institution that's supposed to help to manage the legal affair of the country. And how you expect people to respect that institution. This is just bad. This is just bad. Considering what happened, you can't do that. You cannot put Lofa County in some sort of a constitutional crisis just because. Just because. You got Abu Kamara serving. You're not doing anything. You were fighting hard here to get Alex Tyler in there. You in that place, we also have Senator Sharma, Vani Sharma. He's in there. Who among us that is not corrupt? Who among us that is not corrupt? But you know Bonnie Samanka's story. Why you want to make this thing to turn sour in everybody's mouth? You need to stop it. It's not right. It's wrong. If he's not certificated tomorrow, whatever comes out of it, you have to look at yourself. You have to look at yourself. Dr. Weir, if your hands is in there telling the justice minister to apply the law, this is the wrong law. If you don't agree with the Supreme Court is a branch of government, it's a one branch government. You stay out of it. Let the man go to the Senate and do the same thing where you did to Kabina Jana. And trap the you in majority in the Senate or something, bring charges against it, and goes through the process. Because there the Constitution allows you to impeach people. But you can't say an independent body that have already looked into this thing and find out the man has won. They went to Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said this man won. These people have no standing. And he must be certificated. And now, out of a sudden, the news we're hearing that he might not be tomorrow. If I was Bonnie Samanka, I'll just go there tomorrow and get ready to be said. I'm not even going to listen to anybody and be ready. If they don't show up, I will go there with a bunch of press people. Bunch of press people. And just go there tomorrow. Go to the place that was designated and say, I'm here to be certificated. Give me a certificate. And let them say no. Or let them not come out to meet you. And you have a strong press conference. And then you go back to the Supreme Court. You think if this man go back to the Supreme Court, they will tell you, say yes, you got standing? If you have standing, why didn't you prove it to the Supreme Court? Why are you getting the independent institution involved? You guys are just cutting everything down. Think people trying to trust in. The voting business is about trust. And people trying their best to have Liberians to trust the system. You're getting the election commission involved. And you expect 2023 that will have to bring in the president context to be 2023. And you're messing with the election commission. What kind of faith the people going to have in it? If this election commission will listen to the executive and say the executive said, therefore, we're not going to listen to the Supreme Court, then what kind of faith you want the opposition to have in this election commission? You're just asking for serious trouble. Because most likely the opposition, when this thing happens, opposition will say, we don't even want these people. We got to change them. Now y'all have to go through all the rigmarole, go to court and all that kind of stuff. Why are you putting these things in there when people are trying their best, trying to console Liberia for them to be happy? Oh, man. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. No, I'm not going to play Chairman Monoba recording. I'm not going to do that. This is just ridiculous. If you do this and put Lofa County in a constitutional crisis, people are collecting money right now to help Honorable Samaka to pay back the money. Even though we all know he didn't eat nobody's money, but because people don't want trouble, people from Lofa County say we don't want trouble. So the children of Lofa County are putting money together, trying to scrap from here and there to pay. Where you want again? You don't want him anyhow. Well, that's the people vote. What are you going to do with the people vote now? Are you saying by you taking this kinds of decision to the election commission that those who sacrificed and voted, stood in line and expressed themselves, politically expressed themselves, now you're going to throw the vote away? Is that what you guys are intending to do? This is completely, and those of us that be on social media, that peruse the social media from time all the time, you can say that the justice minister is trying to be in good grace with the small tiny sedition, because they're always cussing him and want him to resign or push him out and stuff. So maybe by him doing that, he's going to be in good grace with those people. But then this is bad. Then it's not based on science, on sound judgment. We can't do that. Now, here is the thing about being sincere. Here's the thing about being sincere. Now, you tell me now. You see, I'm going to say this, and I don't mean it to degrade people. Or I'm not doing it to praise somebody. But this is why Costa has a bigger voice. The opposition can't come back and try to talk for Samaka or try to say something. They got Musa Ability, who is part of the opposition. And Musa Ability is still, his issue has not been resolved. Musa Ability also has tried his best. He keeps trying to vindicate himself. He tried his best. I know the story. I've been reading about it. He has gone to court and everything else. So Musa Ability is not as guilty as many people think. But the opposition refused to make that an issue. The opposition decide silent. Well, as soon as we ain't say anything, people will not say no. Yes, there's some of the thing right now. Who has the mindset now from the opposition to go and stand with Samuka right now and say I want to talk because these people are behaving with a corrupt mind, and you have Musa Belete, who issue you refuse to discuss, knowing fully well Musa Belete issue can be resolved, but you're not doing it, and because of that, you people will not be able to come to talk about these things. Because if you do, people would not take you seriously. And this is why now the only person that can talk and people will listen will be Costa, to be honest with you. Because Dr. Bakai, Ormo Cummings, Ormo Benina Ure, Madam Lawrence, they have Musa Belete. What are they going to say? You heard me here saying to these people, how can you carry out this concept, especially in Justice Department, when you have people like Abu Kamara serving, when you have people like you were getting ready to put Alex Stalin, who also has some serious issue. You were getting ready to put him in there. So when will we have people with, at least to say this person is a little bit better? Because you cannot have Musa Belete issue over your head. You cannot have Musa Belete issue over your head, and you expect for people to say, yes, let's listen to them. No, it's not possible. They're not gonna. The first thing when you bring this thing up, when you bring Musa Belete issue up, the people say, well, wait a minute, what are you talking about? And the sedition, they got mouth, big mouths. Tiny sedition. They got big mouth. And they will nail you. Definitely they will nail you. They will nail you. Because they have a point. How are you gonna have go first of all, you got out in the morning, you don't wash your face. Then you say somebody face dirty. Clean your face right before you clean it up. This is what I'm talking about. Musa Belete issue will continue to drag you down. Musa Belete issue is not that big. Musa Belete, he has records to show that over the years he has tried to clear his name. So Musa Belete issue is not as bad as you make, but the fact that the opposition continue to be silent, then it becomes issue. It takes legs of its own. People, because you're silent, people come in and improvise, and they will listen to them. So this is what I'm saying to all my friends, brothers and sisters. If you're going to come back and talk about somebody, you have to be a little bit looked upon as somebody who has character. So the only person from the COP or CPP, somebody, will be Costa. Who else going to talk now? Because like I said, I said it here before. Musa Belete have always tried to clear his name. He has gone to court because of COVID. The court is going nowhere. But the issue would not be the opposition, their leadership, especially Liberty leadership, should come up and find the little platform to explain themselves. First, why was Musa Belete elected? Number one. Second, to come and tell people some of the things that we know about this case, that Musa Belete is not guilty. Let people come and say that and prove yourself. Because Musa Belete have tried his best to clear his name. And as long that his name is not clear, people will always assume and always see it, perception. And the fact that the leadership themselves, they're quiet. So people take that. What are you going to say? This is what I'm talking about. So now you have a serious issue affecting the people of Lofa County. You can't speak much now. What are you going to say? What are you going to say? Any of you, Dr. Bakai, Ormo Collins, Madam Lawrence, Ms. Ormo Ure, any of you stand up to say, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You heard Eugene Falcon? You saw his post he put out there. Criminal party, criminal people party. The deputy minister of information, speaking about political party as being calling it people criminal party. But what we're going to say, how we're going to defend that? You come and make sure Musa Bello stay front and center. You have a case. And once that case is resolved, you can pick up on Samuka case. Samuka most likely will go to Supreme Court. Because if I was Samuka, tomorrow morning, I go to the place. I'm not going there by myself. I'm going with huge entourage of press. And let the international community see the deed of this government. What this government is trying to do to the people of the Republic of Liberia. What this government is trying to do. Why would Samuka be denied, having had the Supreme Court ruling, and you have the executive? This is infringement. And Dr. Weir, if I were there, I'll say, Dr. Weir, you play football. They want that red card, come in. That red card, they're not even yellow. That red card, you're out. Get off the field. Another branch of government made a ruling. You, as an executive, if you don't like that branch, and the system allow you to go back and challenge their ruling, but you're not doing it. You now taking an independent body that the entire system is supposed to be trusting. You now inject an independent body into this conversation. By the time this case is settled, this independent body will have mud all over them. They will not be trusted. And you think the opposition will allow you to bring the same people to come run 2023 election? They will not allow that. They will not allow that. And UCD will not want to bring and change anybody in the middle of the game either. So why do this? Okay, folks. Let me go ahead and open the line. I really, really appreciate all of you tonight. So let me go ahead and open the line. But give me a call if you have any kinds of issue of what I'm saying. If you don't think, oops, I'm picking on the wrong mouth. Okay, if you don't think what I'm saying makes sense, give me a call. Sam Sinto, Liberian Public. That's my number right there. Let me make sure this thing is connected. Sorry, wow. Anyway, let me see if it's connected, folks. But no, seriously, we have to be sincere with each other. You can't come to these positions and think, say, your position is better than anybody else, whereas you have some serious issue. Let me put my number out there. Look, Prince Double, please stop the kind of thing, man. I don't want to. Who said LACC was going to prosecute anybody? You just come in. You just come in, please. I'm not going to say anything to you. Okay, my number, folks. Give me a call. Okay. Give me a call. Samson to Liberian Pub Radio. Give me a call. It's a very serious issue, folks. It's a very serious issue because my concern is, and I'm not trying to be sectionalist or tribalist or whatever you want to call it, but let's be fair. Let's be fair. People from Lofa County, they are not slush. They don't like talking. They don't like too much flower business. But the people, they're not somebody you can just go push around. You don't push them around. You don't push. I grew up with, look, I grew up in a barracks. And let's look at the makeup of the Amish those days. That Lofa, that Nima, that Grand Jide, Sino and Maryland. But the people, the Maserati, Grand Bass a little bit, not much. Maserati, Bond County too, but not much. So Maserati, in that Maserati, Cape Mount, those are they consider themselves higher up. So they're not member of they usually don't fool around with the army people. But when they come in the army, usually they have ranks. They're higher up. But when I grew up in the barracks, so I know most of the people, and most of the Loma boys, they don't like confusion. They don't like confusion. Even when we go play bray, you know what I'm talking about, bray? You make a sand dune, and you take the wire, put your finger in there, and go like that, and leave it somewhere. And the people take the piece of steel, try to take your bray out, and they miss it, then you eat back. You eat what you're in basse. When they're at time count, they will eat back. And you eat it after you finish, like some of all that will fight. As soon as I finish eating basse, I'm leaving. You want can't eat back, can't get it from me. We'll fight that. Hey. But those Loma boys will not fight. They don't do fighting business. So they don't let flower business. Those that I know. You know what they like? Their man then go to because from the barracks to Baker Market right there, you just cross the street, you know. So the man then they sell and eat children. They go to first to GW Gacy, Maternal Nipple High School, Totman High, LU. Most of them, LU students. And they're smart. Then what do people say about Lofa County people? Oh, they got bulk medicine. Ain't no bulk medicine. No children like to study hard. So they're not slush. You can't do this. Lofa County, those days, they used to be the breadbasket of Liberia. They are people of honor. They may eat people money. You stop this kind of thing, man. If the man ate the money, how come the president agreed to pay? Just stop the thing. He was just following order, which is wrong. But look, who among you that even here, and they used to go that we always say y'all go borrow money from foreign account and they go and borrow money. They can say no. That's how the leadership business in Liberia. The president make the decision and everybody follow. Okay? And everybody follow. So that's what this is. But instead, you're going after him. He can't be and he must not. And now the independent body going to give an excuse to say the executives say. The independent body said, I don't even think they're I thought they were lawyers. I thought most of the election commissioners were lawyers. Why would they allow the executive to push them around? If the executive refuses to pay your budget, you go to Supreme Court. This is how you strengthen the institution. Okay? So give me a call, or else I'll call Pa George here and see if he can wrap it up for me, because I have to go and talk to my son to see how his McDonald's, first day at McDonald's. He just turned, he's not even 18, in 6 months he will be 18, but he couldn't wait to go to work. Yesterday, like I said, some of the reason went to, because they have special uniform. So we got to buy, but you don't buy fancy uniform. You buy them from Walmart, you know. So we bought those stuff, and they gave him uniform to orientation. So he want to make sure that he go to work. I want to find out. I like to find out what are some of the things, you know. And maybe after his McDonald's experience, then I might have to, because once he get, I'm not too sure, he wants to be going to engineering. I'm telling him, don't go there. Go to politics. Go to politics. So you come to Liberia. So you're Liberian. Who say he's not Liberian? Who is he? The not crown man? Or he must be crown before? May I beg you, man? Same way you become a grand immigration. Man, please sit down one place, man. But anyway, okay, Pa Josh, if you're there, the people don't want to call me, they're scared. So Pa Josh, if you're there, give me a call. They're scared of Bloku, they're scared of, yeah, Prince, yeah, you writing. Prince, give me a call now. And let me hear your point. Let the entire world hear your point. Don't just write. Say, call. If the man did not eat the soldier people money, then why was he found? Oh, please. They kind of, you see, but this is how the tiny sedition, that's how they argue. Prove me wrong. They say something, when you say, my man, he said, oh, but prove me wrong. They don't mind saying some ridiculous statement. As long as you don't prove them wrong, then they're correct. That's how they are. Look at this. And Prince is an educated person. No. Samson told LeBron Pomerado, Pa George, Mr. George, please.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. George, hold on 1 minute, please. Somebody calling me. I beg you, man. Samson told LeBron Pomerado, what's your name, where you're calling from, what's on your mind?
Hi, my name is Ben, and I'm calling from Minnesota. How are you?
Oh, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Go ahead, make a point, my brother.
Yeah, so I kind of listened to you, and you seem to be a little bit in defense of Mr. Samuka. Am I hearing you right? Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm not in defense of Mr. Samuka. I'm just being truthful from my perspective.
Okay, when you did you get access to the Supreme Court ruling?
Yes, I read it today. I read the article on there.
Oh, the article or the ruling?
No, I don't have access to the ruling itself, but those who were in the court, they did the reporting.
No, yeah. So I think it would have been much better if you had the ruling, because there are a lot of speculation and a lot of things that are in the open that are not true. And yeah,
wait a minute. You want to tell me the article was lying? The people are lying in the article?
You know, my journalist, right?
Okay, what was the fine? Let's okay, forget about all of the speculation and things like that.
Okay,
what was the ruling of the Supreme Court?
Thank you. So the Supreme Court ruled that the Samuka was wrong. He
was wrong. He was wrong
yeah.
Of what?
The misappropriation of the funds.
That's I agree. The Supreme Court. You just coming. So if you were from the beginning, you were here. The Supreme Court. I know that one. The Supreme Court ruled in favor of the lower court decision, and they found him guilty. Yeah. However, the issue about the election that I'm talking about, the Supreme Court agreed that Mr. Samuka has a standing, and the other people that were complaining have no standing. Therefore, that the election commission should certify Mr. Samuka.
Yeah, but again, I think you are making a mistake, and then let me try to make that correction. So
okay, please help me out.
Yes. So there are two different rulings that the Supreme Court gave. One, when Samuka ran in Lofa County, he ran with some other people. That was the first case that was brought against him in the Supreme Court. So that first case was amongst those that ran in Lofa. All right? So that case, when that case went to the Supreme Court ruled. They ruled in favor of Bernie Samuka. So people are conflating that ruling with this second ruling. And it is so wrong that people need to go and read the entire document. When you read the document, you will see the difference that the Supreme Court rules first. Yeah, among all the people that ran in Lupa, Mr. Samuka has the right to be the candidate. This issue about his appropriation of his funds, it's a completely different issue.
I understand that. I'm not trying to combine it together, and I think I've never combined it together tonight. I said, this is what I said about that. The Supreme Court ruled that the lower court decision stand, which found Honorable Samuka guilty of misappropriating and public whatever it is, but that he was guilty and that he should pay the money back, and he agreed to do that. Now, the second case, which bringing all of the issue, the government is saying that the second case he want to quote because the people who was running against him saying that he was not and that there was no fraud. So the Supreme Court looked into it and agreed, including the Election Commission, that there was no fraud, that Samukai, in fact, won the election. Now, and when you win an election, you're supposed to be certificated by the election commissioner. So the issue then was the Ross Samukai, he's supposed to be certificated tomorrow. Now, this evening or tonight or whatever, we see a letter that is all on Facebook where the Justice Minister has written the Election Commission telling them that this man was guilty of certain act and therefore he must not be certificated. The Supreme Court have... hold on now. Hold on now. So the Supreme Court have already mandated the Election Commission to carry out that function. The executive, on the other hand, is telling an independent institution not to obey the rule of the Supreme Court.
No, Mr. Something, that is not what is happening here. I read the letter very well. The only people who interpret the law are on the side of every library. We have a Chief Justice, which is Musa D. Musa D is not telling the Election Commission to not.
What did he say? What did he say?
He is only advising because they are.
What was the advice? What was the advice?
The advice is that look, yes, this man has committed a crime, and under our law, when people commit these crimes, this is why they're supposed to happen. They didn't say do it. They did not say don't do it. They are
okay. If your point is correct, all I'm saying is Samukai should go over there tomorrow morning and be certificated, and let's see if he's going to be certificated or not. But the idea of the Justice Minister himself to even write the independent candidate, why is it that the Supreme Court rule, if Mr. Dean believed that the Supreme Court ruling is wrong, why can't they go back to the Supreme Court to say this man, you guys are saying that he should be certificated, is guilty and under our law X, Y, and Z, this man should not be there. Why were you advised? Who gave you the right to advise the Election Commissioner? Is that the job of the Justice Ministry?
Because Mr. Something, when we did say this, it tells us that branch of the government, all the damn functions is to do what? The executive.
No, I'm asking you. The Supreme Court rule that this man should be certificated. Agree with me?
Yes.
Okay. So what business is the executive now to try to advise an independent institution, which have already gotten the ruling from the Supreme Court, to say no? Are they not saying that the Supreme Court is wrong?
Again, I want to be very clear that the system for the Supreme Court about for him to be certificated was predicated on the case that was first brought upon him.
Let's forget all that. Let's forget about predication and everything else. The Supreme Court. Let's talk to me in my total English. The Supreme Court said, forget about all that BB word. The Supreme Court said the man supposed to go to the Senate. You're going to certify him. That's what the Supreme Court said?
All right.
Okay.
All right.
So the Supreme Court said that we're getting people right now to tell the Election Commission that we're supposed to be an independent institution to tell them, say, the man is a criminal, that they are business.
Yeah, you see, here is my fear that I sometimes have with a lot of us who are in the opposition. The CNC government is such a bad government to the extent that when they are doing something that was for me, when I see it and I see a lot of logic in it, I want us to urge, to allow them to do the right thing because these guys don't know how to do things right. It is not in their DNA. So this is my first time to see the three forms of government actually function. The Senate functions very well.
Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. You get me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. And when the executive came in, because the executive is there to enforce the law. So what happens? Are you saying that if someone sees someone stealing something and a police officer who is there to enforce the law,
Yes.
he should not say anything?
Okay, so hold on now.
Yeah.
Hold on. The Supreme Court have already said that this man is guilty of whatever act, and there was certain agreement in that guilty plea where he's supposed to restitute the money, and he agreed,
Right.
and there was certain agreement that he's supposed to pay back the money. So if that agreement is in place, what business is the executive now to say no? Are they saying now by they advising the election commission? So therefore, the man, if they don't certify him, is he not going to be paying the money anymore?
No. So you see again, then we will go back to the constitution. So what it says is that once you are a criminal, which of course Samuka is right now. Once you are a criminal,
I went through the Constitution. There's nothing in there. You can be impeached. You can be impeached if you're sitting. If you're sitting and you are a criminal.
No,
you know.
What I'm saying, if you are an alert, I mean, if you are a criminal.
What part of the Constitution? What part of the Constitution?
I don't want to say it wrongly, but I think it's.
Okay.
Well,
I went through that. I looked for that article that was referencing that letter. I couldn't find it. Maybe it's there, but I just couldn't find it. Number one. So, okay. But even if it is, then Samukai must be made after the Supreme Court look at it. And I think I understand perhaps a little bit of what you're trying to say, that it is not the job of the Supreme Court to enforce the rule or the guilty verdict.
That's not their area. That's not the area. If they do it, they will be outstepping their bounds. That's not the area. And that is the same reason why they allow Samukai to even take part in the election, because if the Supreme Court has stopped Samukai, they would have been infringing upon his rights.
Okay, but why was the executive, the same principle, the one you're talking about, why didn't the executive apply that knowledge at the time when Samukai was seeking to be elected for seeking elected position? Why didn't they say he's a criminal? He can't be.
Thank you. Because you see, I think a lot of people have not been found this case because the government went after Samukai. The government went after Samukai.
And what did the Supreme Court say? Well, that's why I brought it up to catch you now. What was the Supreme Court ruling at that time?
And the Supreme Court told the government, look, you cannot stop this man from carrying out his constitutional rights, So they allow him because
let's just play with your point. So I agree.
Okay.
They allow him. So he's gone through now. You think what's the other best place that the Justice Minister could have gone to stop the certification?
I mean, he is not stopping it. Again, I actually want to agree. He is not stopping it. The man, he is the legal arbiter for the government. He advised all of the government administration on anything legally. Why
Okay.
it is
All right.
that why it is true that the election commission is independent body and still take legal direction from the Minister of Justice. He is only telling them, I'm not telling you not to do what you can do, but here is the law. And if you want to see it, this is where you
Look,
want to go.
this is what I would advise that we all try to argue.
Okay.
I think this whole process could have been avoided if the lawyer of Samukai were to come out from the beginning to say, don't run, because we don't know what the Supreme Court, because the Supreme Court, as I stated before, the Supreme Court normally will not overrule yes, they will not overrule the lower court decision. And for the lawyers themselves to ask for a bench trial instead of a jury trial, that was so ridiculous in the first place. In Liberia, in a political season like that, where you know Samukai has an ambition, you should have take the jury trial. Instead, you decide to go with a judge trial, and the judge throw the book at you guys. So that's the only argument that I think will hold water here.
But look, but to
in my entire, I don't say a lawyer. I'm not speaking. I'm not saying that I'm a lawyer. So please, don't come at me like I'm a lawyer. I didn't say I'm a lawyer. This what but I do got common sense. Call me in my tier. Call me and express yourself. Let's hear you. Don't just sit up behind the computer or the how do you call it, phone and start typing. Call and express yourself. That's how we do it. Okay, my brother. Thank you very much. Thanks for your point.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Samson told LeBron Public Radio folks, give me a call. We'll be calling Pat Josh to wrap it up. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to. So, okay. Samson told LeBron Public Radio, is there Imaya here?
No, I'm not in my tier, Mr. Toe. You and I may will try your own table. My own different operation here.
Okay, go ahead.
How you doing, man, Mr. Toe? Look, almost everything you spoke about today, I entirely agree. I just called to make a couple of points.
Okay,
I firmly believe the executive is overstepping its bound. They have no response. Well, they have no say in what an independent agency does. You're absolutely right on that portion. And I firmly believe they are overstepping their bound and they are creating very dangerous precedents for our country. And we have to be very careful when the executive oversteps his bound. There is no obligation. Well, I'm not a fan of Burma Samukai. And here's the reason why I'm calling tonight. We have government officials in Liberia who firmly believe that when they hold a government position, for instance, Twitter is personally doing the same thing. Most of the officials in government are doing the same thing. Whatever president we have tells them to do, they go ahead and do it, even though they're running an independent agency. This is very dangerous. You have a fiduciary responsibility to the agency you have. If your leader tells you to do something and you understand that something is outside the confines of legality, leave that freaking position. You don't have to have government job. Samukai should be held fully responsible for the decision he took. I don't care if Ellen told him to. He's not a child. He has to understand the way it works. But these guys cling onto government job like a baby will cling onto his mother's breast. If to say it is pulled out, they will have nothing else to do. This is the issue, okay? But the Supreme Court has already ruled. If there is a letter coming from the executive stipulating that the election commission should not certificate this man, this is extremely dangerous. They cannot do this. I don't care about the injury to Mr. Samukai. I care about the injury to Liberia, because if the executive becomes emboldened where they believe they can do this, they could create serious problem in the country. This is not their place. The election commission is an independent body. It's an independent body. I only care about the danger. Okay, because it could be Samukai tomorrow, today, it could be another person tomorrow. And the Justice Ministry, look, I'm entirely disappointed in this Justice Minister. I don't understand who he is or what he's become. The Justice Ministry is completely independent of the executive. He can tell the president openly how he feels about the law, but they are not doing it. They're kowtowing to President Weah. The same thing Samukai did for Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. They are doing illegal things. And this is extremely dangerous. There is nothing more that destabilizes the country than election issues. I don't
Thank
know
you.
if you know this. And thank you so much, Mr. Toll, for the show tonight. It was a brilliant presentation.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, folks, when you call and I'm not answering, that means someone else is on the phone, folks. Basically, what I'm saying is just exactly what the caller just talked about. This is not necessarily about Samukai, but the idea of us executive intruding into the affair of the another branch of government, in this case, the Supreme Court, I think is I'm not going to call it dangerous because this is how these people operate back there. Anyway, it's the same problem we have with someone kind of, obeying the law, obeying the boss without even questioning. Why would someone take the people money and use it for something else, even if Madam Salim says so? Now, all this time, why Madam Salim was not even called to the court to be a witness? Let me check this. Samson told LeBron Pablo, you're calling from a long way, Beijing. Hello.
Yeah, hello. My name is Cindy and I call you from Beijing.
Okay, all the way from China, my man. Thank you for calling. We appreciate it. What's on your mind, please?
Yeah, thanks for the show. I really appreciate the coverage. I actually want to make a point to the first caller. The first caller is talking about enforcing the law. Before you enforce the law, the Supreme Court is the one who interprets the law.
But let me put, I know you're calling all the way from China, but let me put a little bit more in it. Are you studying law in China?
No. I'm not studying law.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I just want to make sure. But thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Yeah, everyone have their function. Before you can enforce the law, someone interpret the law before you can enforce. You don't enforce law that someone never interpret or law that is not in place. The justice minister, the law that empower the justice minister to write that letter, the law says every December, and we are not in December, we are in March. Where were them? Okay, for example, when you are going to election, they ask you to present a police clearance. Where were they when someone got a clearance from the police to be able to contest in the election? So if you have criminal record, why are they issuing a police clearance?
Interesting point.
And
the police also member of the executive. Interesting point.
Yes, they all work together. The police is the one who get information to the justice ministry. The criminal record, the justice minister cannot notice that someone is a criminal without going to the police. So these are points that they need to look at. We should not just look at the political side, but we should look at the law, how it functions, and the procedure. And this thing, if it happens, let's say, when we get into 2023, and
that's my fear, my brother.
And saying that,
that's my fear, because if the executive will be allowed,
this representative do not certificate the representative or the senator. So where will we be going? Are we be going to the Supreme Court when the decision already happened in the past? So this thing should not be given credence. We should posture to it. Let them give let them issue Mr. Samuka his certificate, because even this guy from the ruling party, which is Abu Kamara was convicted by the LACC. He admitted that he takes salary from both entities, and he said he was certificated, and this happened before election. So why only now? So there are many things, so that they allow the men to rule. Then he take a post and be able to pay the money back.
Yes.
Net appropriation and using money personally are two different things.
Right. I agree. But thank you, my brother.
Yeah,
we appreciate it. Okay, that's a very interesting point. The guy calling all the way from Beijing. I think he's studying Chinese law, and Chinese law seems to be a very good law. No, but the point he made is why would the executive, you know very well that this man have issue, why would you guys give him certificate from the police clearance? What's his name? Imaya Tia, give me your call now. Imaya Tia, call me so you can make your point, my brother. I don't know anything about law, but why would the police give him clearance? If you know he's a convicted criminal, like people are arguing, why would they give him clearance? And you stop the kind of thing. All right, I guess that's. I'm not getting another call. Let's see. I'm getting ready to bring Pat George. Okay, yeah, let's bring Pat George. Pat George, if you're there, give me a call. This is it. I'm not taking any more call, folks. Thank you. Pat George, give me a call and close this thing for us. Oh, hold on, Mr. George. Samson told LeBron Padre, is it Imaya Tia?
No, that's not Imaya Tia. I just called to just answer that question for Imaya Tia.
The what?
I just called to answer that question as to why did the police give you clearance before the election. That's an easy
okay,
question.
yeah, briefly, this abuse us now.
Yes,
briefly, go ahead.
Briefly. Yes. Every time you get clearance, it doesn't mean that when your background check was wrong, it doesn't mean that they got everything 100%. That's why as time goes by,
don't do this to us. Don't do this to us. The man was convicted. It was public record. The man was convicted of the same crime. You guys don't do this to us. I'm not a lawyer, but this is not going to fly with my total law. You can't do that. The man was convicted.
He had an appeal, and the Supreme Court granted him that waiver to.
No, before he went to the Supreme Court, the police records, the executive now, the same law, they should have denied him. Then perhaps he go to the Supreme Court to have the issue resolved there. But it didn't happen.
Okay. Let's agree that, yes, the police fixed it. So because they make something one time, doesn't mean that they can't get it for the second time? Is that what we're saying? On, man.
I hope you go and be a CDC police commander soon.
No, look, I hate the CDC.
No, I understand that. No, I'm just making fun, man. But thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, folks. This is it. I'm going to be calling Pat Josh. Yeah, check your phone. Okay, thank you. But I one day, man, where is he? What happened to Imaya Tia? He ran away? Imaya Tia, you ran away, my man? Mr. Toe, you don't know anything about law. It's clear in the Constitution, please. Okay, Mr. Tia, please come now and tell us what part of the Constitution. Give me a call. Okay, you can't call me. Let me call Mr. Okay. All right. That's it. Mr. Josh, thank you. Sorry for that, but thanks for the patience.
Yeah.
Yeah, try to wrap it for us so I can get out here myself.
Yeah.
What am I saying wrong here tonight?
No, I mean, what he said, he said something.
Well, before that, what do you make of the president traditional, how do you call it, wailing?
I mean, some all do it and go back home and go to the village. Some all do those things. I mean, I don't see with the people, so I go there. We all do it, you know. But the time some all the time, the beer was not like this over there. Never bother. But when I go home, I go to the village. I mean, similar thing he did, I do it. It just brings your memories, you know, about people that you left back, and some of them I say are alive.
Yeah.
Sit down and chat and do all these things here, you know. So, I mean, it was very nice, you know. He felt at him and being making himself part of the people that he had not left in. That's how we all achieved. Yeah. It was nice. But, you know, there's some of us things that they are not forthcoming in this system. The Liberian court system is just bad. And what do I mean by this? Let me respond to one of your callers said. Samoka presented a certificate from the police at the time. But at that time, he was not convicted. There was no conviction record for Samoka at the time. So he presented a police clearance. It was after the police clearance before this case came out. Now, so someone should not say why the police gave him clearance. No, at the time he
Oh,
was not convicted.
are you saying the case when he got the clearance at that time the police? I mean, at that time the case was not being at that time he has not been found guilty.
No, there was no case at that time. Nobody sued.
So how was it that the people were trying to stop Samuka from even contesting?
Now listen now. Before the government picked up the case, Samuka presented a clearance to the election commission. There was no case against him at that time. After he got into the race, that when the government picked up the case. Because he's supposed to, you present all the document to the election commission. They clear you. Now when they clear you, that when you go to make the pronouncement and start campaigning, and it was that time that the government came after him. So let it be clear. It was not after or not before, no. When Samuka presented his document, he had no trial. So there was no criminal record for Samuka. So no way anybody could slap him at that time. There was no criminal record. He got his clearance, he was cleared, everything by the police. It was after before the government came in with the case. So, but here is the question I want to ask the legal people. The law court at the time rendered a verdict that Samuka was guilty for embezzling funds. Samuka took an appeal, and yet what happened? Once the court ruled at that time that you are guilty, that ruling stands. The Supreme Court will not dismiss that ruling. That ruling will stand. The only thing to do, they will take that appeal to listen to it. Now, when they listen to it, the Supreme Court disagreed with the court, but went one step further. Said that this man should pay the money in 6 months, pay half the money in 6 months, and the next man pay all. It's not to go to jail. Now, then what happened to the old ruling? That is the question that the legal man they got to answer. That is, the people didn't just say, okay, everything we said we agree with it. They agree, but they went one step further. They say, hey, the man should pay the money or 7 days time. So if the man is paying the money or 7 days time, then how will you enforce that lower court ruling again? To say this man must not run or cannot be certificated. Even though the law that I listened to the Solicitor General quoted that if anybody is convicted of any crime, should not serve for 5 years. After 5 years, before that person can hold any public office again. But then the Supreme Court says the man must only pay the money, or if he fails to pay, then he go to jail. So then, how do you interpret the laws are there? If the Supreme Court is the higher decision-making body law in the country to interpret the law, if it says so, then how can you come back into hold some kind of responsibility? And that one thing I'm going to see the legal man who come to clarify those two decisions by the Supreme Court. Now, the issue, I said it all before, this case is not a normal case. It is a political case. And that's what makes it difficult for the government herself. Because the position she has put herself in, if anybody wants to be very honest, we say this case has a political undertone. Because when someone came out, someone got there, they asked me to run and I refused. Based on me refusing, that when now they came to bring the case against me. Now, that's another whole thing. Let's get this clear again. The Minister of Justice can advise other functionaries, other departments, other agencies. What it cannot do, it cannot instruct or dictate to any agency to do anything, especially autonomous agencies. So it was based on that when the Senate called the Minister of Justice and the SG to come and show the power, the law that gave Serena people the right to instruct the election commission.
Mm-hmm.
it was based on that. There was no law because the original people said he told him, the Minister of Justice, and the Minister gave him the go ahead. But then the question I will ask, okay, we agree. But you don't think if the Minister instructed you, the letter should have been written by director of the Minister of Justice. But you didn't write the letter when you wrote at the Solicitor General. So there are two things there. If you are quoted the Minister as being by director of the Minister of Justice, then of course it means that the Minister instructed you to act on his behalf. But since you didn't do so and you wrote the letter this form, it means that you don't have the constitutional authority to do it. Period. So it was when Musa Dean went back to the saying that he advised or suggesting to the Election Commission that this man is a convicted criminal. So therefore you cannot certificate him. Now, the issue now is left with the commission. Will the commission take the advice of the Minister of Justice, or will they know that and certificate Brandon Sambuka? And if they do so now, that means the Minister of Justice, which is responsible for that, will go back to the Supreme Court to say, hey, this is the law, this man is a convicted criminal. Why the Election Commission? This is the reason we think that he should not be certificated because, yeah, it's the law. Then the Supreme Court now will have to go back there again to interpret that law, whether it's applicable to Brandon Sambuka. You see,
okay.
You see the kind of the real farmer did not scatter all on the white clothes now. Now, I just suppose we should not allow our sentiment for certain group of people just to trash everything. Many times we see even around the world, during Bush time, Oliver North.
Yeah, Oliver, that Reagan time.
Reagan time. He refused to testify against Reagan, his boss, about the Iran. It was
the Contra affair, South America.
Yes, yes. He refused to testify because there was an R&D that the Reagan administration took, and he was part of it. And he should have testified because he refused. He went to jail because he took orders from the bossman, and he refused to testify against because that would have put the President Reagan into trouble. So he refused to testify, so he went to jail. So a similar thing that happened now to President Sambuka. He took instructions from his boss and acted upon his boss. But because he don't want to put his boss on the witness stand, now he is taking the responsibility for what the boss instructed him to do. So when people say, oh, you have the right, yes, you have the right. But these things happen in administration. Sometimes very few people will speak up to their boss. So we should not make it like to say that it never happened. It's happening all around. So I just want us to little bit sincere when we talk these things. It's acted upon us the boss. And it happened in America, it happened all around the world.
Right.
So that was something I did.
Okay.
Someone can say, it was me, I won't do it. But he was working for his boss and he took that order. And I just gave an example of what happened between Reagan and Conor Noyer. Even with Bill Clinton, the black man refused to testify. His death refused to testify against him. So these things happen. But what I'm seeing in Liberia, we have to sit down and look at our court system. Because if we are in a legal court trying to talk to people, the Supreme Court and the law court are not on the same page. It's confusing. Okay? And what people are saying that the Supreme Court at the time could not tell someone not to run or to tell the election commission not to disqualify someone because they have not ruled on the case. So since they have not ruled, you can't stop someone from running. That's the political right the Supreme Court is required to. So people, we have to look at these things, how it goes on to play. So the Supreme Court said, no. Yes, the case is in court, But at the same time, you can't refrain on this man right to say that he cannot do anything.
Right. All right,
So the man has to. So let's just leave it there. But we see it again. I think the case will go back to the Supreme Court. What happened? We'll go back to the Supreme Court because tomorrow is the election for me. 35 Samarkand, the Minister of Justice will go back to the Supreme Court. And if they don't do, then Supreme Court, maybe Samarkand will go back to the court.
Right. All right. Thank you, Pa Josh.
Yeah. We have 5 friends, so let me just leave it right there.
All right. Samson Soe, LeBron Public Radio. What's your name? Where you're calling from? Okay. They're gone. Let me try that again. Let me try this person here, folks. Give me a minute. I'm not too sure if they're calling. Yeah, Samson Soe, LeBron Public Radio. Are you calling me on the radio or are you calling for private talk? I'm calling on the talk on radio. You want to join the conversation? Yes. Okay, hold on. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, now you're live on the air. What's your name and where you're calling from, sir?
My name is
Robert
Zango. I'm calling from Houston.
Okay, this is Robert Zango calling from Houston. How can I help you, sir?
I'm calling to speak on the issue of the Samarkand issue.
My man, come here. You saw Kofa dancing tonight?
Am I on the radio live?
Yes.
All right, don't call me your man right now. Let's talk.
Okay, all right, okay. All right, Mr. Zango, did you see? Okay, Mr. Zango, did you see Honorable Kofa dancing tonight?
Yes, I thought he had moved. Now let's move on to the next conversation.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
All right, look, I didn't get the name of your previous caller.
They call him Amos George.
All right, Amos George. I wish I could talk to him briefly, but I think there are a whole lot of misunderstanding of issues surrounding the Supreme Court decision, the intrusion of the Justice Ministry in this issue, and et cetera, et cetera. So let me bring my own non-legal argument or points to this discussion. Firstly, the Ministry of Justice, be it a letter from the minister proper or the deputy, non-deputy, for any of the officials.
Mr. Zango, yes, do you care to somehow disabuse my audience as to whether you are from that area or not, Lofa or not?
All right. If I'm from there, I wasn't raised at my father is from Lofa County, that's true. I was born in Baroka.
Just say you Lofa man. I won't care for all that explanation. You Lofa man. So I just now go ahead.
Mr. Soe, I'm not going to get into the ethical argument tonight. The ethical argument of tribal.
Okay,
but let's do this seriously for a moment.
Okay, go ahead.
People seem to misunderstand because the Solicitor General wrote a letter, therefore the letter was not proper. The Solicitor General, who are no person, they wrote a letter on behalf of the ministry. The signature could have been the Solicitor General, the signature could have been the Minister of Justice. But recall when Serena Seaford appeared before the Senate, he appeared with the Minister of Justice, which basically validated his letter. So the issue, whether it was not under the signature of the minister, that is immaterial. The Ministry of Justice wrote an opinion that crossed the line in my estimation. The National Election Commission does not fall under the guidance or the jurisdiction of the ministry or the executive branch of government. They get their instructions directly from the Supreme Court. And the ruling or the edicts of the Supreme Court says that Mr. Brandon Samarkand, yes, was convicted, but yet the penalty is not imprisonment. The penalty is not restriction of his rights as an individual. Therefore, under that, Mr. Samarkand still has the right to serve. Go back into the argument from the Ministry of Justice. They couldn't
sexual article, I think 50.1, et cetera, et cetera. That people need to go back and read those articles again. Those articles do not apply.
Exactly. I know that.
They do not apply because, Mr. Samaka, it doesn't matter your court said something for something that happened here with one of the gentlemen who was in the U.S. military and all that kind of thing. Come on, don't mix apple and oranges. We're talking like ground law, not talking American political reality. All right? And those points that Serena Seaford or Councilor Serena Seaford and Musa are making are not applicable. Now, it is my understanding I just have to be looking at something earlier this evening, and I think I understand now that the National Election Commission now is refusing to certify Mr. Samoka based on the fact that they received a letter from the executive branch of government. So, people like the Oppo used to say, you trying to, anyway, I can't remember that word. But basically, they're trying to secure bad money after good money. All right? The thing here is, the man should be certified. He won the election. The voters who is sovereign have decided who their representative is. Therefore, by the people, for the people, with the people, wherever the wording goes, the phrase, however the phrase goes, those people decision or those people's desires, the citizens, the voters' desires for Lofa County have to be met. Their desires have to be met. You can't have one branch of government for well political reason deciding who will and who will not. That is not the issue. So let people understand the decision of or the recommendation from the executive branch of government does not come over, does not supersede the decision of the judiciary. The Supreme Court is the final arbiter of justice in our country, not the executive branch. Seaford knows full well he was all aligned. That's why when they subject him to the Senate, he had to capitulate. They go ahead and pull the letter back and rewrite the letter on a different term. No, they don't have the right to do that. The same at the NEC now, who when the Senate decided going to put a body in jail, who they ran to? They ran to the judiciary. They ran to the judiciary for cover. Now the judiciary protects them, doesn't protect them, but reinforce what their rights are and what cannot happen to them while they're sitting in office. Then they go ahead and say, well, you know what, yeah, you're right, but not running to executive mansion now. Come on. It's not the political, you know what, for high heaven. So people need to get it right.
Thank you. But let me, thank you. Don't go yet. This is what I got. I just want to tell you something here. See, this is what I've been, this is the same thing I've been telling you and Kofa. Your kind they play your lens so much book. Look at Kofa went over there today. He couldn't even. You saw the video I played. He couldn't even dance. But you from Lofa County, but the amount of book you get, and you another. My understanding, you're going for another. I think this is going to be about a third or fourth master degree. You got all that plenty degree, but then when they send you to Lofa County to perform the culture, then you don't know how. Look at Kofa. Dr. We got to push you and say this is how to do it. You got to teach it. You see that one? All that plenty of book Kofa laying the player, but you can't do the stuff.
You do realize that now you are going after my friend and brother, and for in the interest of full disclosure, I've known for Nadi Kofa since 1976. He is my friend and brother. I don't care what anybody got.
So is he. So we are our friend and brother. I know that one. But the point here, the same way with you is the same way with Kofa. You learn too much book. So you can't do the country thing.
No, what you want to the thing I taught the man how to dance.
Oh, you tell me. That's no one. I
dare you to that different than we are talking about dance. But you have to second thing about things. I'm not a supporter. I'm not talking as a supporter for or against the government. I'm just responding to your question. Is my understanding is on a nationwide tour. Kofa is a representative from that area. So I think Kofa is giving deference to we have to say let the person go ahead.
Oh, you see, you come and plead your bold lawyer. I beg you. You can defend Kofa from now to judgment day. Kofa know the country dance. That's it.
My man, I was saying you want to go there, are you from there? Why we are saying Manara Hosa? Yeah, you know this party. Yeah, you know this presidential party, and we are saying Manara.
Okay,
I'm
madam.
saying what talk. No, not okay. I don't know the way now. And all the money Joe left here. Why you doing with the money? Eh?
All right, Victor. I'm talking about dancing. I'm talking about dancing, come on. I'm talking about all I want there.
But I thought about yesterday that you want to bring the thing.
No. I'm just telling you, you and Kofa. You from Lofa County. Kofa from Crew Country. But you don't know the country dance. So book. So that's what I'm saying. That's why when Kofa went, look how you are dancing.
It was not. It was booked that saved Liberia when people were trying to take over Liberia. It was booked.
Tonight we're not talking book. We're talking country dance.
It was booked people
that your book business. We're not here tonight.
The 1986 Constitution you're talking about today, one of the architects of that Constitution is Robert G.W. Zango Sr., a book man from Lofa County. You understand?
And we know that. We know all that one there. We know all that one there. That's not the point. The culture dance.
When Liberians were not being given the respect after they graduated from high school, Liberians didn't know this history. Were not being given the respect after they graduated from high school when they decided to further their education in other African nations, because people said our educational system was not up to standard. It was a bookwoman, Brenda Baker Zango, that decided that she must standardize the educational system like yours.
My man, that's something you were telling me that I don't know about my mom. I beg you.
When they educate you people, know that you mad today. She ain't gonna do that. My man, let me go, man. I got homework.
Okay, folks. This is Samson Soe. That's my brother. We grew up together in the same house. True story. Grew up in the same house, almost like a twins, to be honest with you. So he's my brother. Anyway, and Kofa is a very dear friend of all of us, so we make fun of each other. But anyway, thank you guys. Thank you very much. Let me see if the president was calling my show here. Let me see. First of all, let me take it off. Hold on. Let's see if the president was calling my show. That the president I'm talking to. That the President Fred Guion, that is. You're not answering. Okay. All right. So maybe. All right, Mr. President, you're calling you back. I tell me you're calling to talk to the show. You didn't pick up. Okay. All right, folks. Let me get out of here. Like I said, my son first day of work at McDonald's. I have to go in there and try to find out how was his deal was. Wow. These people, they were nice. What? Yeah. Liberia, we got a long way to go. But the good thing, you have people like the progressive, the liberal progressive has a tendency to be broad-minded, and he allows people to express himself freely. And you can say whatever you want to say. You can disagree with me. I don't care. It doesn't really matter. You disagree with me, as long as we're respectful for each other, that's what counts. So anyhow, I want to thank all of you again this evening. Mr. Soe will be back here, I believe, Wednesday. And we're all going to be on and have a wonderful show. Yesterday, he had the lady, Madam Cooper, former presidential candidate from, I think, MDL. I'm not too sure what the political party, but a very, very outspoken lady, young lady, and she doesn't take prisoner either. So I'm hoping that Mr. Soe will bring her back again. Your tiny sedition. Why you didn't come yesterday? The more already. But anyway, folks, it's been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful afternoon. Please stay safe. Don't let your guard down yet. This thing is not over. The vaccine is not even in your arm yet. They ain't put nothing in your arm yet. Those of you that don't have the vaccine yet, please be careful. This disease is not anything to play with. They got, I think, two or three strains. They got the real one, the one that came from the other place. Then they have one from South Africa. Then I think they have one from England. So there are 3 of them here in the United States. So please, let's be careful. Protect yourself. Don't be embarrassed. Put your mask on. Wear your mask at all times. Even when you're eating, you lift up the mask a little bit, you put it in public. No, just be careful. Be careful. If you're on a serious note, if you go to Walmart, if you go to any store, put your gloves on, because the thing you're going to be touching, other people have touched those things. You come from there. Wash your hands immediately before you touch anything else in your house. If you go to work where there's a lot of people, you come home from work, take the clothes, put them in the washing machine right away if you can. Protect yourself. Protect yourself. This disease is nothing to play with. Okay, I see brothers and sisters having party here and things like that, dancing. It's good, but please protect yourself. Protect yourself. This is Sam Soe, LeBron Public Radio. My God. I'm gonna stay away from Philip and Mr. Zango issue. But anyway, folks, that's it. That's it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. Again, folks, this is Sam Soe, LeBron Public Radio. I want to thank you very much, and I will say good night to all of you. Please stay safe out there, and let's continue to pray for one another. Let's pray for our country and pray for the leaders as well. They are our leader. We have to respect them. Thank you, and good night.
Po batongo ko bafinga kasi mabasambwisanga natula te ope nazanga te nazali na mobali oyo akokanga na makambo maso nalingaka oyebisa baninga na yo bana lelo bosukisa na kombo nanga ezali mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki aye kotala yo mosala na ye kotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa ezali mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki aye kotala yo mosala na ye kotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa kobotalelanga bana yanga molimo na miteki likambo nasali te bakopanzanga sango kinshasa mobimba bakotongonga kombo na ngai ekomango lisolo ya bato soki bakolia po batongoko bafingaka nsima basambwisanga nazali na mobali oyo akokanga na makambo maso nalingaka naye lelo na lopango na bino mpo nayebisa yo oyebisa baninga na yo bana lelo bosukisa na kombo nanga mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki aye kotala yo mosala na ye kotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa ezali omoni mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki aye kotala yo mosala na ye kotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa
Sapato e tengama